Hi friends, welcome to Aisha's DIY. Today we will design a necklace with Sam Speedbox subscription for the month of April 2023. I have these metallic beads still available and some of this leaves and this triangle gemstone pendant, but I'm not going to use these because these I want to use it with a gold finding, but I'm going to use this with silver. So I have here 19 strand bead stringing wire from Bead, and it's a satin silver color, and it's a 19 strand one, so I really like the flexibility of it for a necklace. If I'm choosing it for a bracelet, I would choose 49 strand, but you can always use the 7 strand as well, no problems whatsoever, but the flexibility increases as the number of strands increase in the bead stringing wire. As you guys can see in the picture, there is 19 strands coated with and made it into one single strand, so the flexibility is obviously very nice. These mushrooms, I'm not so sure whether I'm going to use it or not, but I pulled out a clasp from my stash for this project. This is like this safety pin clasp which opens up like this. It's a pretty clasp. It has the stones all over in this part, and then you just do this way. So this is the one that I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna I just rang my beads because these was very less. It was not a lot of beads that I had, so I had probably only this much, and it wouldn't suffice for a necklace per se. So there we go. Right. So necklace per se. So I thought I would, you know, um, add seed beads to extend my chain until the length of my necklace. So as you guys can see here, I have some 11 seed beads from my stash. This is, I think, a peacock color. These are Mayuki Japanese seed bead 11 matte black AB. That's what it says, but you can see this has a peacock color, and I used this, and then I also used some AB transparent 11 seed beads in this clear color. So the pattern I have here is two of the peacock seed beads. In the middle I have two, the clear ones. So I threaded all my metallic 8mm, I believe these are, I don't know, yeah, these are 8mm. So I did that, and this section, as I did, it was very less and it wouldn't suffice for a necklace. So in the clasp is going to be in the front with this clasp, right? So the back need not be, there's no clasp in the back. So for that section, for it to be smooth, we can use seed beads. So but then also this teeny tiny 11 seed beads wouldn't cut it, so I added an 8 seed bead in this color. Let me show you guys, where did I put the tube. I took a purple because I didn't want a more blue. I just want a little bit, because this metallic colors has blue, purple, green, brown, and even, as you guys can see in here, brown, and all the hues are there. So I didn't want to use a blue again, so I used this one. This one has like a mix, blue, purple, all those things. So I used this one, and then I added the section, which is two of this peacock seed beads, and this section separated by this bead. So I just did that in all these places, as you guys can see here. Let me show you up close. So this is the pattern I have chosen, and then I continued with it. So this is what it is, right? The pattern you guys can see. So one set of this 4 beads followed by this 8-0, and then the other set of the 4 beads followed by the 8-0, and so on. The pattern, it's totally up to you. So and I just measured, I eyeballed it, I kept it around my neck and then figured out the length. But you can also do the same, or else if you want the exact measurement, you can go ahead with what I have here. And exactly this portion is 6.5, and it comes in the bag. It just covers my neck comfortably. I am fine with it. If you want to reduce this, but I have here 6.5 inches. And then the beaded parts, I still have 3 more beads that I can add it to. So I'm just figuring it out what I'm going to do here. So this is how the necklace should be, right? So if I do this, see this, maybe I just add one more here and 2 more on the other side. Maybe, I'm not so sure yet. I really like this closure, so I will add one more here, because this one has to come here, and then I have the clasp on the side. I'm not going to do the clasp in the middle. The clasp is going to be, maybe I can do it in the middle. What's a big deal, right? So the pendant wise, I'm going to do it in the middle, so that way if I had one here and probably one more here, this should be good enough. So in here I added this crown bead and this cat bead, so I'm just going to take this off. So it's an asymmetrical necklace, of course. You guys know how I love asymmetrical necklaces, right? I love to make them. It provides the proper I would say proper distinction between our so if I do this, I do that here, this side will be more okay. Let me see. I wanted it to be a little bit lighter color, that's why I added this clear one. Otherwise it doesn't, for me, doesn't cut it. So because this one is darker, so darker and metallic finish. So if I add this here, still wouldn't cut it. I will have one extra. Yep, that's okay. So this is what I have so far. You can come up with any pattern you want, but if you are having the Sam Speedbox subscription, now I am still working with the spool, as you guys can see here. So I'm gonna cut about, say, here. After this I'm gonna cut about, say, here. I always like to work with the spool on and cut it only at the end, so that I don't waste any wire. Also, you need to be careful because you need a bead stopper, or so this spool serves as a bead stopper as well, so it's a double duty right there. And the 8mm, one more section. Okay, now I am ready to add my clasp here. What I'm gonna do is, so there is one thing, so we can add the clasp here, and then this bead here, followed by this pendant. That would be a way. Or what you can do is you can add this on the side, okay, and still this will be here only, and you add one more bead and add it to this way, to here. I think I will do that instead of the other one. So now what I'm going to do here is take my crimp tube or crimp bead, anything would work. I think these are size 2 crimps. I'm not so sure. I will use this gunmetal crimps. These are bead-along bead crimps. This is size 1. It's always a good measure to look at the spool that you work with, and here you can see #1 and #2. #1, it's a bead, crimp bead, and this one is crimp tube. So you can use either number 1 crimp bead or number 2 crimp tube. Okay. In the crimp tube, if it is branded, especially if it is from Bead-along or so, in the box, the container, they will say the exact number that you want to go with. Okay, so now pick this up. So if you are doing it this way, actually we can do it this way, right? But this is the one which looks good. So we need something else then. Hi friends, it's always good to have second options. For example, I told you guys I'm just going to use this clasp, and I figured I got this from, I believe, Hobby Lobby, and I even opened it and saw, so it's opening, so I can work on it, right? So I rotate this around like this and it opens up. I thought it'll open up down, but it didn't. I just push and kept realizing that there is no way to go beyond this, right? See this? It opens up, but doesn't go below because this loop is blocking it. It's an internal flaw, right, in itself. So hence I have to not use this as a clasp but as an ornate element to my necklace. So I'm going to use this lobster claw clasp to clasp to this clasp. Okay, I know it's sad because I didn't want it to be that way, but it's okay. And also this place is bigger to put it on, so if you put it on here and slide this lobster clasp off to the side, it works fine. Okay, so anyways, I have to attach my necklace, one side of the necklace, to the lobster claw rather than this clasp. So I just go through that loop. I added the crimp bead. See, I put a bead stopper that side, right? So make sure go through the loop of the lobster claw. Use your pliers to go through the crimp bead. I don't know why I'm suffering with this. I just push all the beads down here. Have a little bit of a space for myself. I have to anyway struggle the other side because as you guys know, I'm so used to getting lesser cord. So put through the crumb bead. So I removed the lobster claw clasp because it was heavy and then it just kept on slipping. So I will add it later. As you guys can see, I'm going to not flat crimp, I'm going to use my crimping pliers. There is 2 holes in the crimping pliers, as you guys all know. The second hole towards the handle is the one which will go horizontally. The first hole will go vertically. So we'll just go horizontally first. Make sure the wire is not crisscrossed inside. See this? If I do this, it automatically crisscrosses, so I just make sure it's parallel inside the bead, and then go ahead and crimp it horizontally with the second hole. That'll split it into half on one side. As you guys can see, it's like a kidney bean size. The other side will be rounded. Now go like this and then squish that kidney bean, sorry, kidney bean with vertical motion. Now you have a perfect crump. I'm trying to get these on top of the, but the 11 seed bead won't accommodate, so I'll just go ahead and snip this short tail off very closely, as much as possible. Okay, there we go. That's a nice cut. Now push all the beads from this side to the other side. Now we have this much wire to work with. We can add this later, but this side I need to figure this out as to what I'm going to do here. Add this bead, and then either I can crimp to this ring and then put this ring inside, which I tried, but this ring is not going, so I need to put, this one is a closed jump ring, so I need an open jump ring for that, and I don't trust open jump rings for this purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the crimp bead and series of beads. Then come back and crimp it. So a seed bead closure, as you guys can think. So you can either use all of these beads or just that bead. I think I won't use the silver bead. I'll just use the metallic, not metallic, matte Miyuki Lemonos. There we go. I really like this. It has a lot of color combination to it. It's pretty. There we go. So add this to this loop. Okay, then come back through that crimp bead. You can use your pliers here. 8mm is not accommodating that, or this is not going through the crimp bead. Yeah. Since it's short, I don't want it to go through that. Rather, I want it to go only through the crimp bead. For some reason, this crimp bead is very tight. I don't know why. I'll use a different crimp tube or crimp bead. There we go. I'll try this one. That particular crimp bead was a problem, so this one went okay. See, there is a gap. Just going to go ahead and flat crimp it because it's a way too less of a space to work. So I did go ahead and flat crimp, and I'll just go ahead and do the first hole nice and strong. So now here we go. So the necklace is pretty much done. Okay, so this is how it will be, and then I'm gonna add this. I know I have to do this here in order to have this way, but I chose to do it this way. Now move all the beads to the side. Of course, I didn't use the mushrooms yet. Now I have to join this and this, so I need an eye pin. Now I have got 20 gauge wire. I'm just gonna grab myself about, say, okay, you don't need much, about say 1.5 inches. This is 20 gauge artistic wire in the stainless steel color. So take this, take your round nose pliers, make a bigger loop. Okay, keep it where you cannot feel the wire right here. So we need a big loop, so I'm just going to make that loop and then hold my pliers, straighten that loop so that it sits right on top of the wire, just like that. Okay, and then add my bead here. Okay, there we go. Once you do that, all you need to do is, so the loop ends this side, so I'm just going to bend my wire on that side and then let it be. So I'm just gonna open this loop and see if this one goes through that or not. It's a pretty tight fit, I would say. So I'll keep this for the bottom. Okay, add this to this. Okay, and now we have this. Just make a bigger loop and snip that off right where it ends. We got a big loop than the bottom one, so adjust it, open it up like back and forth, how you would open a close a jump ring. Add this here, use your pliers to close that loop. This is 20 gauge wire, so I don't worry about them getting off. And this is what it is, our necklace. Okay, now let's see what we have here. So the pendant part, we have the clock and then a bead with an eye pin. Then we have this safety pin as a center. Then we added a seed bead loop here, right? The bead and the cat bead, the crown, and the metallic beads with seed beads. And in the back we have a seed bead section. So this is what we have accomplished. I really like the way this turned out to be. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload a couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.